Well, everyone, let's get started on our Constitution. This is the core of our movement. But before we begin the Republic of Alberta Constitution, I want to go over something that most people do not talk about. And these are your unalienable rights given to you the day you were born. And it's important because our Constitution is based on these rights. We have the right to equality, freedom to worship, property rights, freedom of speech, freedom to assemble, mobility rights. I mean, we can move around. We don't need a government telling us what we can and cannot do. So we have freedom from discrimination, freedom from taxation, that's important. The right to bear arms to defend your body, property, and home. These have been given to us when we were born and have been taken away by governments. So that's why we have the right to form administrators, the right to negotiate freely with other sovereign nations. We don't need governments for this. The right to possess natural resources as a birthright. In other words, we own the oil. These other corporations and governments don't own them. We have the right to make laws, the right to designate administrations, the right to life. We just want to live. And the right to live with others as you choose. So as we go through the Constitution, remember these rights, because this is what the Constitution refers to.
Sovereignty emanates from man and woman, from no other source, because there is, in fact, no other legitimate source. Man and woman are the only extensual authority. Man and woman are sovereign if they so choose to be. There can be no provable or tangible source of higher authority compelling the will of sovereign man and woman to bow to ignominious ideologies that do not recognize sovereignty as supreme. Sovereigns recognize no permission or other authority. Sovereigns pledge allegiance to no foreign bodies or higher powers. There is none with greater authority than that of a sovereign man and woman. There may be a greater force, but when that force is exercised against peaceful men and women to forcibly subjugate them, this becomes naked aggression, tyranny, and a crime against sovereigns. Sovereigns have met with such tyranny and stand firm against it. General provisions. The unconstitutional documents and laws which were applicable before applying this declaration are repealed. Part 1. The Republic of Alberta is an independent republic nation wherein the sovereigns are the source of powers. Life, liberty, prosperity, property, and land are all sovereigns' unalienable rights. Sovereign money is issued by our Treasury Fund, a sovereign nation with its own currency. Part 2. Sovereign unalienable rights. Unalienable rights. Unalienable. The state of a thing or right which cannot be sold or taken by force. Things that are not in commerce as public roads are in their nature unalienable. Some things are unalienable in consequence of particular provisions in the law forbidding their sale or transfer, as pensions granted by the government. The national rights of life and liberty are unalienable. Unalienable, incapable of being alienated, that is, sold and transferred. You cannot surrender, sell, or transfer unalienable rights. They are a gift from the Creator to the individual and cannot under any circumstances be surrendered or taken. All sovereigns have unalienable rights. All sovereigns are held equal before the law and due regard to differences in physical and mental capacity. Part 3. No income taxes. Any such tax is considered unlawful and unconstitutional to all sovereigns in the Republic of Alberta. No man or woman can be taxed for their labor. Part 4. The Republic of Alberta recognizes spiritual beliefs as an unalienable right. Your own spiritual beliefs may be practiced and preached. It cannot interfere, harm, or infringe on others or the property of others. All sovereigns will treat others with lawful and moral consideration. All spiritual beliefs will never be able to interfere in any way or change the lawful rights of any sovereign, at present or in the future, in the Republic of Alberta. All forms of churches are fully transparent and fully accessible to all sovereigns. The Republic of Alberta will not fund any spiritual beliefs or ideologies. They will have to be funded by their members or followers. In the Republic of Alberta, all international funding is unlawful for any spiritual beliefs or ideologies. Part 5. Freedom of speech. This written constitution guarantees under law that everyone has the right to freely choose, speak, and assemble in nonviolent protest. The sovereigns swear to oppose all forms of discrimination. These principles are enforced by freely hired employees, administrators of the Republic of Alberta, with full control to enforce the law of the land of the Republic of Alberta. The will of the sovereigns will always be above the Republic of Alberta Constitution. Upholding and protecting that will is the ultimate objective of every organ and function of the Constitution and the sovereign. Part 6. The right to bear arms. Sovereigns' rights to keep and bear arms and to possess weapons for their defense is the sovereign's unalienable right. The right of sovereigns to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed upon by any sovereign or nation. Proportional response self-defense law requires the response to match the level of the threat in question. In other words, a person can only employ as much force as required to remove the threat. If the threat involves deadly force, the person defending themselves or others can use deadly force to counteract the threat. Part 7. Treason. Treason is the crime of betraying one's nation, especially by attempting to overthrow the Republic of Alberta. The Republic of Alberta and its sovereigns will not tolerate treason in any way, shape, or form. Attempts by force of arms or any violent or other means to overthrow the organs of administrators of the Republic of Alberta and any involvement in a treasonous act will cause all perpetrators to face a grand jury. Part 8. Voting. Part 1 to 8 is the protective measures in place to guarantee the sovereigns are the final decision makers and they can only be changed by 100% of the sovereigns, not the majority. Any amendment to an article will require 75% of the sovereign vote. County voting. One sovereign, one vote, yes or no, hire or not hire, fire or not fire. Sovereign's vote, 75%. Regional voting, one county, one seat, yes or no, hire or not hire, fire or not fire, sovereign's vote, 75%. National voting, one county, one seat, one region, one seat, hire or not hire, fire or not fire, sovereign's vote, 75%. All outcomes will be posted for all to see. No electronic or mail-in voting is allowed in the Republic of Alberta. The ultimate objective of every organ and functionary of the sovereigns, the judiciary included, must indeed be to uphold and protect that will. All sovereigns are equal before the law. They will enjoy equal civil and political rights, will have the same opportunities, and be subject to the same public duties and obligations without discrimination. This is the Republic of Alberta Constitution.